Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the December 1st, 2020 edition of Mini Past Life Numerology Readings with Lindsay Knight, also known as the Hermit Numerologist. We hope you enjoy the readings tonight. So, in order to get a reading tonight, you need to text your name and your phone number to 226-750-6534, and we'll do our best to get you on the reading list for tonight. And if you're not on there, I just hope that you're going to enjoy the readings, because sometimes the messages that are for one person happen to be for a bunch of others. So, hello everyone. Thanks for joining in. We got a bunch of people in already. In case you missed this, I'm Lloyd Woods from the Ninth Vibration, and Lindsay Knight is also with the Ninth Vibration, but she's also the Hermit Numerologist, and this is where we have our connection. So, what's happening tonight? Tonight, after the readings tonight, we have a draw. This is for all the people who shared and let us know that they had shared. Now get entered into a draw for a beautiful session with Krista. If you ever had a session with Krista, it certainly is well worth it. She resets your clock and you're just sort of in la la land for a little while, so that's really good. Next week we're doing another draw, and this is for all the people who share the video post and put into the comment list that they have shared. What you will get in is basically an entry into a draw for some shamanic drumming. That's with me, and it'll be done at the store in the new year. Things are getting so busy right now that we can't really make arrangements for 2020, but it's a really good way to bring in the 2021. A good way to say goodbye to 2020. I don't know of too many people who would not like that idea. So what's coming up at the store? We have Sequoia. She is a tarot reader and Ogham reader. She does her tarot readings with a Celtic slant, and that is part of her roots. But she also does a pretty neat reading with Ogham. And if you're not familiar with Ogham, you might be more familiar with runes, but this is the Celtic version of what the runes do. So I'm not sure which came first, the runes or the Oghams, but Sequoia would be able to tell us that. She's actually going to be in the store tomorrow, and she has some time available. So if you want to have a different reading, please call the store, 519-265-9099. On Sunday, December the 7th, we have Patty Mack, and she has been a long-standing psychic medium that's been coming to the store for, we're going to be open for 7 years. I think she's been here for about 6 years, and she's always a pleasure to be with. On December the 8th, we have Lewis Maybe. He's the guy that likes to book his readings online. So if you were to go to lewismaybe.com, that's spelled MABEE.com, you'll be able to navigate your way through to the Guelph location and pick out the type of reading that you want to get. On December the 19th, we have Lillian Porter. She is another psychic medium that she has some time slots available. And if you were to call the store at 519-265-9099, you can book a time with her. That being said, it is 3 weeks and 3 days till Christmas. And I'm not sure exactly how everybody is getting together this year. All the health officials are saying don't visit everybody out of your immediate home, but I'm sure there's going to be a few sneaks out there that's going to be doing that. So all I can say is please be safe, be healthy, and if you're in a lockdown zone, you have extra reasons to be safe, and make sure that you don't visit the people that you could make sick or could make music. Another special note, on December the 25th up until January the 5th, 2021, we're going to close the store. We have been crazy busy, and I think it's time for the store to actually be regenerated. Let the crystals do their thing. Let all the different products get back to their normal state, because everything has been kind of nutty. Even though we like it, they need time to regenerate. I believe that's all the other announcements that we have. So with that, I would like to pass this over to the beautiful Lindsay Knight, aka the Hermit Numerologist.
AKA Noise Finance.
And the Finance. So hope you enjoyed the readings tonight, and you guys take care.
Hi, Lloyd.
Hi.
Thanks, Lloyd. Hello, everybody. Hello. I always have to fix this thing. Maybe it's just because I'm a control freak. Hello, everybody. It's nice to see you. I just want... Oh, I got to grab my coffee. I'm very, very excited about a couple of things. I got some new pens. So this is like, for a numerologist, this is like huge. And I got... It's really cool because I'm not sure if most of you know or not, but I am launching a past life deck, and we sort of decided, you know, who's going to do the printing, blah, blah, blah. You go this way, you go that way, and we decided to stay local. So I'm very, very proud of that. We have the same fellow that helped me design and create my last deck has been a huge part of this. So I just got that in, so I'm working with it tonight. So I'm really, really excited. And like I say, we're really proud of the fact that we are supporting a local business in this beautiful project. So just so you know, we'll be launching the deck actually sometime in January. And then I wanted to show you, just because I've been in this really, look at this. I've been making all day long these beautiful, look at that, tourmaline, shungite, garnet. And so like usually, and it's kind of interesting because I was working with raw stone, so this is green tourmaline. I just thinking there's a little bit of the turquoise, I call it they call it the antique turquoise, but it's an African turquoise. Look at this one, garnet. Like look at that, green garnet. This is really good for a person like myself that, believe it or not, is an introvert. Yeah, so I've been doing all that, which is very, very cool. Oh, look at this one. Like, look at, this is how I spend my day. Like, can you imagine that and cooking Lloyd dinner? Not. But aren't they beautiful? They're so beautiful. So just so you know, I've got to get those ready, but I've just been in this really beautiful creative space. I've been around all of this beautiful, beautiful energy today. I thought before we get started, and just so you know, if you would like a reading, that would be wonderful. If I don't have people to read, then I'd be sitting here doing not much. So I thought what I was going to do first is I'm just working with this Raven's Wand deck. And so I thought, you know, why don't I just give a couple of cards out there just to speak about, you know, perhaps what we're going through right now, what the energy around us, and the impact, and perhaps just as a reading, a general reading or message for all of you. So I thought I'd start off that way, because no doubt we've been challenged at this time. And so let's see. This is the first card. This is the Call of Longing. And it's really interesting because this is a really beautiful card for me. It's just about this longing, and there's no doubt in my mind, if you can feel that longing in your body. Some of us, you know, we long to have our freedom back, you know, where we just have this longing to be with our friends and with our families and being able to embrace all of them. So there's no doubt in my mind. And for some of us, that may translate that some of us may be feeling lonely or isolated or just alone. And so this really is about just being able to feel that and just to have compassion, and reach out to anyone, someone who loves you, and just don't do it alone. So this definitely. The other thing too is just what I always find when we sort of lose what we need or what we think we need or what we want, then there's this real longing, inside of us. I'm going to do another card. And again, this is a general message just for anybody out there. And this is the Queen of Hearts. She's so beautiful. I mean, I see my mother as the Queen of Hearts. I see myself as the Queen of Hearts. It's just this goddess energy that is love. And love just absolutely makes anything and everything possible. And so this really is being loving, not just to yourself, but, to the people in your life, to the animals that share your life with you, and just sending love and bringing love and nurturing yourself as well. I'll do one more. Here we have give and take. So it's about giving and taking, the flow, bringing it in, putting it out, bringing it in, putting it out. I mean, it's just kind of like when you look at just the natural flow of anything and being able to go in it and just be in the flow, and you have to give and you have to take a little bit and all that stuff. I don't know, I just feel like drawing one more. I love this card. And so oak endures, and it's really amazing because to me an oak tree is a tree that is very consistent, solid, present, it's fearless, has confidence. And so it's like just being strong spiritually and emotionally, and just being an oak tree. It's like, and that's what I pray all of you, to have the energy of an oak tree. So that's great, and thank you for letting me share that. I just love this deck, love it. And so if you are interested in having a reading from me tonight, that'd be fantastic. You must text 226-750-6534 if you would like a reading. If you don't mind turning down your volume when you are here with us, just because it definitely has a feedback on this end. If you want to grab a piece of paper and you want to have a pen handy, that way I'm going to be giving you some dates that you may not recognize during the read, but after you may find some connection there. So yeah, good, Lloyd?
We're good.
Did you like the cards?
I did. Beautiful.
I know, they're very nice. So we're going to Ashley. Excellent. Thank you, Lloyd.
You're welcome.
I gotta turn it up. Oops, I gotta go to the next one, love.
Okay.
I called her, but she didn't answer.
Didn't answer.
That's because we're supposed to go to the birthday girl first. How could we even have thought differently?
Happy birthday.
Jen. Thank you, my love. Hi, is this Jen?
Yes, it is.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Can you spell your name for me?
Yes. Now, the name I go by or my legal name?
Just whatever you go, well, whatever you go by.
I go by Jen, Jen, and then last name Clark, Clarke.
Okay.
Oh, I so appreciate this, Lindsay.
Oh, absolutely. So is it usually Jennifer?
That's my legal name, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go with that just because I think it's a really, really interesting name. So if you look at the letter energy, if you look at your very first letter, which is your cornerstone letter, this is what introduces you to the world. So it's like presenting you to the world. And anyone who has a J as their first letter typically come to this life and they just feel responsible. They're old souls and they just feel responsible, and there's no doubt in my mind that people know exactly how to push your buttons to sort of get what they want from you. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And there's no doubt in my mind that you just feel responsible and that you're on the hook. Like if you look at a J, it looks exactly like you are on a hook. So, I mean, just so you know, it's like no doubt you say sorry more than you should. You absolutely don't speak your truth. You're afraid you're going to offend somebody or hurt their feelings. So you withhold that. Typically, J people are people that are a little bit like sponges. So they absorb the energy of the other person. And so just so you know, then your next letter, which is the soul essence letter, this is the letter of E, and I call this the mind, body, spirit letter. So this lets me know you're a person that has this great depth and you have a curiosity, and there's always another question for you. Also with you, anything that comes in your vision, whether it's the face of one of your children, whether it's a beautiful flower, whether it's an animal, whether it's a dead animal on the ground. I mean, for you, you just absolutely feel, and everything that kind of comes into your vision definitely has meaning. Like, would you agree with that?
Oh my gosh, so right on, Lindsay.
Yeah. And then if you notice, right in the middle of your name are double N's. And this is really interesting because when you look at the energy of an N, it goes down and up and down and up and down and up. And you've got one right beside the other. So this lets me know definitely that you're a person that always has something going. So in order for you to feel alive, it's almost like your body has to be moving. It also can be a bit where there's always something going on around you, whether it's chaos, whether it's just energy, but there's always kind of going up and down. Also, it can speak of your emotional balance. Like when you're good, you're really good, but if something kind of goes out of kilter, then for you, it kind of throws you out of balance. Then if you look at your capstone letter, which is the letter that sort of, you know, there's the introduction of you and then there's this fullness of you, and this would be the R. So if you look at the first letter, the first stroke of an R, it's like this single stroke right down, which means you have a backbone. Then if you look at the little loop thing, it also lets me know that you're protective of your emotional experience, but that you have a little stick. So in other words, like you could be going through a lot of stuff, but most people just wouldn't know it. Like you could still function. So,
oh my God, that's so true.
and there's a part of you that often will feel like, wow, like doesn't anybody see that I'm suffering or that I'm sad? And so sometimes that may make you feel invisible or unnoticed. So just so you know, it's one of those beautiful names that I just wanted to give you that message. Your birth year?
Yeah, it's December 1st. Oh, sorry, 1964.
1964. So this is the energy of the record keeper. So this lets me know that in a past life, in fact, you were a scribe, and that writing down and documenting what was happening, you were very much a visionary, and you could see that whatever was going on at that time would have importance, so that you would scribe. Even to this day, you're a person that keeps record of things. And it's not...
I have dozens of journals that I write in on a daily basis.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, there's no doubt in my mind, and it's like there's a part of you that just wants, you know, whatever you're writing to be known, not to the world, but just to show that there's importance of what's going on with you. And there's no doubt in my mind that you're a scribe. also an intuitive. And so this lets me know that you're a person that has the ability to scan and read people in front of you, that you're very sensitive to the emotional health of the people that you love. In other words, if you look at someone you love, you can tell if they're okay and if they're not okay. And so, I mean, no doubt there's a part of you that's always kind of looking for that. Also with you, you have files. So if you were to look at things that have happened in your life, there would be particular times or events that you would have a file that, you know, and you carry that file. So for you, there's a belief deep in your heart that you need to have a certain weight around you, but I do believe it's also connected with the J energy of your name. Also, you're the Empress, and I say this to people all the time. It's like, think about it. Where is there a more magical place than in the womb? I mean, when you look at the womb, it is just this place of miracles. And so you are the seed, you are the womb. This is creative. You're a teacher, you're a mentor, you're a nurturer. You bring unconditional love to everyone in your life. You see things and you just love to see things grow under your careful attention. Then you also have the shapeshifter. And this is an energy, again, very intuitive. And if I don't know if you read cards, but if you don't, you should.
I'm a Reiki practitioner.
Yeah, well, let me say this to you. You're like not saying that a Reiki practitioner is not like this amazing energy, because it is, or this amazing art. But you're much, much more. I mean, people come to you, and I guarantee they come to you because they don't know how to release. So for you, they come and they're just able, they feel safe, they feel protected, they feel loved unconditionally. So for you, I guarantee people come to see you so that you can help them release. Like, does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and with you, I would just ensure, just because the fact that you're so sensitive, and this is not just your mind, it's also your body. I would just make sure that you put a grid of stones underneath your table if possible. So I would have selenite there, I'd have tourmaline there, I'd have shungite there, I'd have petrified wood there. It just would enhance all that you already do. But, you know, and if you program each stone, I guarantee you that the people that are receiving your service would feel it more. And what's really cool with you is, one thing I definitely would do is, it's almost as if you want to infuse the stones as they come in. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I'm an obsessive crystal collector.
Yeah.
And I do. I like to spend the time to greet each one and get to know it.
Right, but what I'm talking about, it's like they're your tools. So it's like when a person comes to see you, like everybody works with very specific tools. In fact, like we're just drawn to certain tools. So if you have one there that sort of represents love for you, if you have one there that represents shedding, and you program the stones, and then they know what their job is, what their intention is, and then you can just intuitively, when the person comes to you, know which stones would best kind of support your treatment, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah,
Thank
like you would
you.
be so good at it. Like there may be some people there that come to you that just have come and they're all the issues of the mother. Well, then you might want to bring out some of the shungite, and you might want to bring some of the petrified wood. And I mean, with you, working with pyramid energy would be really, really good, because it sort of, it helps direct the energy outside. And so there's a release. The other thing that I would do if I were you is I would work with white, like any type of white candle, like even if you have the ritual candles and you sort of anoint the candle upward prior to the treatment, I guarantee, and you place an intention in that candle, I guarantee your clients will be able to feel that.
That's wonderful. That's going to help so many people.
Yeah, well, it's, you know what, it's really about you stepping into your power, because I know that you hesitate, and I'm here just to say, you know what, Like you're so intuitive that you already know what I'm talking about. Like you already know what I'm talking about. What I'm asking you to do is just come fully in and say, this is what I do. I prepare these stones individually and almost like a custom grid for anyone who comes on my table. And then when you clear the stone, it's really about honoring all the work that they did, and then you put them away. Like if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. And I've heard this before. This has been coming into my aura for the last couple of months.
Yeah, and see, what's really interesting is like you want to know something. I guarantee that you have said this before to yourself first. And so I'm just here to say I appreciate that you have this kind of, there's a bit of fear of doing it right and being shown. And I'm just here to say, just do it. Like just trust in your gift. I'm looking at, you were right on the brink, like right on the brink of a spiritual breakthrough. This year is a very restorative year for you. This is where you would have had to advocate for yourself. Perhaps, draw a line. It's where you get to really come and restore your spiritual balance. And this would be connected to 2014.
Oh, that makes total sense.
Okay?
Smart, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, and then just so you know, it goes from 2014 straight from 2021. So those are your 9 years. So if you were just to kind of look and reflect on the lessons that you learned in those years from 2014 right to 2021, 2005 would be another big year for you.
Yes, I was in a major car accident and it changed my entire life trajectory.
Well, you want to know something, because it's in your path, I guarantee that it's quite the only reason that you are here is because you were contracted to be here. So just so you know, there's a part of you that's still in the car. So you need to go back there, and this is the perfect time to do that. That's why you're in a restorative year. Often what happens, myself, I was in a car accident, and trust me, I had to go back. I had to go back and retrieve that peace, and so no doubt. 1996, 1987. Yes, darling. 1978. 1969. So you would have been 1969. You would have been 5 years old. Okay. I'm going to do some fast cards for you. But yeah, let me see. I'm just looking.
Wow. Every one of those years you named are pivotal.
Yeah, there's no doubt. In every one of those, you've left a piece of yourself behind. So I'm going to give you your cards. This is the first card. This is the empath. So this lets me know that, I mean, you have been contracted, you've come to this life from a past life contracted to absorb the emotion of other people. This definitely lets me know that people may be able to latch onto your energy, and some may really drain your energy. So I want you just to really be mindful of when you feel that. It also lets me know that one thing I definitely would do is step back, take a couple of steps back, and create some space between yourself and the people that are with you, because you're so sensitive. There is no doubt in my mind that you would be able to, you would just absorb their energy.
Yeah.
This card really is one of dread. And so this lets me know that there's a part of you that is a watchdog. And this is very early on in your life, but it's also something that you would have brought forward from a past life. So this would let me know that something had happened and it kind of robbed you of your, I call it innocence. It's where from that moment on, it took away your sense of security. And so that's why a part of you just feels very, like where you just need to feel very secure most of the time, so you organize everything, sort of deal. This is your next card, and this is the card of the gifted, the anointed one. So it lets me know that you work with Christ energy or light energy. And so this really speaks about being gifted and being blessed and being a guardian, and that there's guardians that work along with you. And it would be really beautiful in order for you to be able to see who those guardians are. The next card is the card of the hero. So this lets me know that it's not always been easy for you, that you've had definitely some struggle, and that you've had to overcome some very, very difficult obstacles. But it also lets me know that's what gives you the gift of compassion and empathy and non-judgment. And your last card is this, which is all about, I guarantee your soul has not quite recovered from the severing of the umbilical cord. So for you, that would translate as a fear, like the more you love, the more you're afraid something will happen to someone that you love. But I hope that gives you a few messages, Jennifer. You'll have to keep us posted. But Lloyd's on the bell.
Oh, Lindsay, thank you. You've answered so many questions. You've answered, and this is the year I've been kind of regrouping and getting ready to step out and back into the world. So this just confirms everything.
Yeah, well, you know what? I got to be honest with you. For you, it's just not a regrouping. For you, it is a full, straight up spiritual breakthrough. So just so you know, it's not regrouping, love. Not at all. It's where you absolutely are going to break through a lot of things that have held you back, and you have earned the right to do so. So good for you. And thank you so much for allowing me to read for you.
Thank you. I couldn't have asked for a better birthday gift.
Happy birthday. I hope you get spoiled rotten.
I just did. And I can't wait. Are your cards available for sale yet?
No, my cards, I'm going to be doing a launch, or we're going to be doing a launch in January. I'm just not ready to, I was hoping that I'd have them ready for Christmas, but that's not going to happen. So I'll have to let you know, but you would just rock my cards for sure.
Oh my God, I'd love to share them with the world. They're beautiful, and thank you for your gift, Lindsay.
Thank you. You take good care.
Take care, you
Okay,
too.
bye-bye. Our little birthday. Oh, let me shuffle
Amy
these
is
up.
asking the question. I can't see your sweater. What's on there?
Oh, this is my lucky. Look, this is my lucky unicorn sweater. Whenever I wear this sweater, I am so lucky. Don't you think that's funny? I love it. And you want to know something? I shrunk it, which is like heartbreaking for me, but I'm not getting rid of it because it's my lucky unicorn sweater. Whenever I have this on, anything is possible, right, Lloyd?
Anything is possible. And we're calling
Hello?
The first lady.
Ashley.
Hello, is this Ashley?
Yes, this is her.
Hi, Ashley. This is Lindsay. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Can you spell your name for me?
Ashley.
Okay. Do you have your sound down on the live?
Do I have my what? Sorry.
The sound down on the live?
Can you turn down
No,
this?
I got earphones in, so my kids don't hear me.
Oh, okay. What's that, hon?
Nothing.
Oh, nothing. Okay, your birth year, so sorry.
1983.
Okay. And so for you, you understand for you, it's in your mind and it's in your tummy.
Okay, yes.
And so your mind feeds your tummy, and your tummy feeds your mind, and then in the middle of that is your emotion. So for you, it may feel like your emotion is running the show, but what I'm picking up is it's more your mind and your tummy, and then your heart kicks in. So when you get triggered, there's no doubt in my mind that you sort of go through a looping, and that you go right into your mind and you just occupy your mind very much. Like, does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yes, and that for you, it's hard to pull away your mind. Like, you just become obsessive about whatever it is that has triggered you.
Yes.
And that what's really neat is if you look at it, is that you literally are like ahead of the experience. So most of the time that you already know it's coming. So you in your heart you feel like you're prepared for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really really strong. So it just lets me know that you've done it for a long time. Your month?
Pardon?
Your month?
September.
Okay. And so this is the energy of the orphan. So this lets me know that as a child, you may even have felt like you didn't fit. Whether you didn't fit in your family or you didn't really fit at school, you're an old soul. There's a depth, a spiritual depth with you. So you look under everything, and some people don't know how to see the world in that light. For you, there's no doubt that you will do anything for anyone. But if you get betrayed, like it's over. It is done. Like, you know, if your trust is violated, that for you, you just can't be in that relationship anymore. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Yes. And your day?
It's 21st.
21st.
Peace Day.
Ah, nice. That's nice. Well, happy almost birthday. So with this lets me know that you're a muse, and so this lets me know that for you, you feel your life very deeply. Would you agree?
Yes.
And that for you, I mean, you take a lot of things personally. That you're wounded very easily.
Yes.
And that you're also very sensitive to any type, like you literally read the eyes of people all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just a very, like she's a very cool girl, Lloyd. I can just feel her energy. I literally can feel your energy. So for you, this year has been a spiritually shedding year. And this is in response to that something that happened to you last year.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like last year would have been an emotional, something would have happened emotionally to you. And so then this year it's like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing that, because you're sort of shedding through whatever loss you experienced or whatever emotional kind of realization you had come into. Just one sec. I'm going to do a calculation for you. (2013) would be a big year for you.
Yeah.
That would be 7 years ago.
Yep.
2004.
You don't know that far back.
Okay.
my first son was born in 2013.
Okay. 1995. So you would have been 12.
All right.
And then 1986. And there you would have been 3. So just so you know, let's do your mother's, because I guarantee probably 80% of what you deal with is connected with your mother. Your mother's birth year?
46.
And the month?
April.
And the day?
26th.
And no doubt that, like, you understand that for you, your relationship with your mother, that she had quite an effect on you.
Yeah.
And do you know what was going on with your mom when she was pregnant with you?
No.
Okay. And I guarantee that she would have gone, were you the firstborn?
I was the last born.
You were the last born. How many siblings before you?
5.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. You know, so like, I mean, here, there's no doubt in my mind, that's a lot of kids, right? And so all I know is that your mother was in a 6th year when she was pregnant with you. So there's no doubt that she would have been overwhelmed, or there may have been something going on. So even as you were developing inside of her, you would have been very sensitive to her suffering. So that's where you would just absorb. So one thing I definitely would do if I were you, Ashley, is I'd have a ritual bath. And it's where you literally can use some beautiful oils, you can use some salt, but it's just where you almost take yourself, while you're in the bath, you almost take yourself back to the time where you were in the body of your mother. And it's almost as if you just allow all of the emotions that you may have picked up, just to have it released from all of your tissue, all of your energy, just sort of like soak in the bath and just release that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, with you, you're like a little sponge, right? Like, I mean, you just feel everything like big time. Let me draw some cards for you. And I mean, like with you, it almost feel as if, you know, definitely your security, because you were so sensitive, that your security would have been really, what's the word? Like, there's no doubt in my mind that there's a part of you that just struggles with anxiety and fear, and that often when you get anxious, that you sort of grip onto things or onto people, and this feels very old. Let me just see what cards I can have you here. Just 1 second. So this is the intuitive. So this lets me know that you're a person that goes deep inside, and that you hold your emotions deep inside, and that you trust very few people, like with your feelings, and that, you know, you just kind of retreat and pull in your emotions. It also lets me know that you're highly intuitive, and not only do you see things, you feel things, and this is a gift that you bring to the world. For you, it's like being able just to kind of not use that gift to kind of keep you in a state of anxiety, but more that's something that gives you confidence. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. This also lets me know that there's a part of you, like, is there times when you get overwhelmed where you literally feel like you're coming out of your body?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, when your senses and all that. And so one thing I definitely would suggest to you is putting something in your bra. Like, I put 2 things, because for you, it's almost as if you need the balance. I mean, you definitely have, you know, like it, and I would put like tourmaline on either side. I would put just something shungite to be able to, you know, just let go of certain things. And your next card is this of sacrifice. So this lets me know that no doubt that you give and you give and you give, but it's hard for you to receive. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
That you know, like you sometimes you just feel like you've given yourself away, and that you're in a state of sacrifice sometimes, that you're last on the list. Like, does that make sense? Yeah. And I mean, one thing I want you to do, and you've got a couple of weeks left, is I want you to put yourself first on the list. Even if it's just something very simple. This really speaks of liberation. So this lets me know in a past life that in fact that you were kind of bound and you were held. You could have been imprisoned. You could have been a slave. You were under the influence of other people. So in this lifetime, it may translate that that's still happening, where, you know, other people's influence definitely has an impact on how you move in the world. And there may be times where you just go, like, you know, you're just so, what's the word? Influenced by the people that you love. And some of it can be a bit of manipulation, where you just feel manipulated into a situation, and where it kind of pulls on your emotional strings. So I want you just to imagine just being liberated and just wanting to have a relationship based on respected kind of communication and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's liberating. And this lets me know that you come to this life with a heartbreak. And so that there was a part of you that already were emotionally wounded, and so something would have happened early in your life that would kind of confirm that injury. And so whenever in the present you get injured, it just brings up all sorts of emotion from a past life injury. Like, does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like you're just really sensitive. Like you're just really sensitive. Do you have children?
I do too, yes.
Yeah, and there's no doubt in my mind that you just love your children, that you just absolutely love them. It also lets me know that when you're first born, came to this life to be with you, that from that moment on, you've never really taken a breath. Like, and so, you know, it's like it's where your kids sort of fill up all of you, and so in this year, I want you just to find who you are. If you're not a mother, if you're not a partner, if you're not a worker, like who you are. And that's what I'm very excited that you're going to come into this realization next year. Like you're definitely offloading certain things this year, but next year you're going to come more into your personal truth and your personal power. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm excited for you, Ashley.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're most welcome, and thank you for texting in. You have a beautiful night.
All right, thank you. You too.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Yeah, that's kind of neat, eh?
Beautiful.
How's it going, Lloyd?
Good.
Awful quiet over there. Oops, hang on. Thank you, my darling.
Hard at work.
Okay. Okay, so we're going with Barb. Bum, bum, bum. There you go, my love.
Thank you.
I gotta have a drink.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
This is Lindsay.
Hi, Lindsay. That's so funny because I knew you were going to pick me.
Oh, did you?
I did.
What are you, like you psychic?
I don't know. You're going to tell me.
Can you spell your first name for me?
Okay, it's Barbara. Barbara.
Wow, that's kind of neat, eh? Because like if you look at your letters, like the first letter that really screams out at me, of course, is the A. Like you see all the A's, these are definitely guardians. So this lets me know that you're a person that would like is a humanitarian. So you would never harm anyone. You're also a bridge. So for you, confrontation, any type of conflict, you don't particularly like that. And so there's times where you may even absorb your own needs or your own feelings just because you don't want to offend anybody or you just like to keep peace. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And this is with everyone in your life, whether it's your family, whether it's your children, whether it's your the people that you work with. But for you, like you just love to be in that energy where there's a great flow and where everybody just feels supported and loved to each other. Would that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
And then what's really neat is you have a double R. So if you look at the R, the first stroke lets me know that you definitely have a backbone. Then you have this one little area that just kind of looks like it kind of comes in and it protects your chest. So it lets me know you're very private. And then you have a little stick that comes down in the R. So it lets me know that even if you're hurting, even if you've been wounded, even if you've been betrayed, that you still give back despite the fact that you've been wounded by other people. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then what's really neat is if you look at your very first letter, which is the letter that introduces you to the world, it's like you compartmentalize things. Like it's really neat. It's like, whoa, this is my emotion, and this is you know the other thing. This is, and it's just really interesting. So for you, you have very clear, like you have the ability to kind of find that balance between your emotional and your logical life. Like if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yes, and your birth year.
62.
Okay. And so this lets me know, again, that you are a shaman, that you, in fact, are a spiritual leader. And this lets me know also that for you, when you get upset, you withdraw.
Right.
And that you just pull away and that you become quiet.
Yes, I can.
And so who comes after you?
What do you mean?
When you pull away and retreat, who comes after you?
Who comes after me?
Yes.
I just kind of like stay with myself. It's more just getting to be reconnect.
Yeah, and see what's really interesting is there's no doubt in my mind that when you pull away, what you're saying to people is leave me alone. And what I'm saying is that most people do. And
Yes.
people that have a guard, like if you were triggered around me, I just say to you, you know, Barbara, I'm not leaving you alone, love. You're gonna have to talk to me. You're gonna have to trust me. I'm not gonna leave you alone in this. And so it's really being able to see that when you pull away, there's just a part of you that is afraid to express how you feel. And I guarantee it's because you were left alone emotionally as a child. Like, does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. And so like I want you, like you share an aspect just like me. And so I want you just to be willing to say, you know what, like I don't want to pull away anymore. I don't want to retreat, because it almost feels like we run, right? And it's like, no, I'm not running anymore. I can, whatever I'm dealing with, I can deal with it. Your month?
March.
And see, that's what, like, you understand that you're a completely conflicted person. That your mind goes, like, there's 100% that is absolutely full of faith, like absolute faith. And then there's this other side of you that is full of complete fear.
Yes.
Yeah, like, don't you think that's the coolest thing? Like, and so where would you prefer to live?
Faith.
It's like faith. It's like
Yeah.
everything's going to happen in the way it's supposed to happen. And so for you, it's like you walk in two worlds, but no doubt in my mind that you have been contracted to be a teacher. You've been contracted to be a mentor. You have been contracted just to be a person that inspires and helps to restore another person's belief in themselves, and that you do it every day, all the time. And this, I just don't want you to question that, and that you have this beautiful depth to you. Your day?
Sorry?
Your day of birth?
Oh, March 14th, 62.
Okay. And so, yeah, and so there's a bit of a priest in you. Like, it's kind of neat. It's the priestess. And this isn't like, I'm not talking like, you know, like what you call it, you know, Christian kind of thing. This is more like a shaman. Like, this is an old soul. And there's no doubt in my mind, in a past life, that you were shamed, and that in fact that you were thrown away. And so there's a part of you that already, even before you came to this life, you had trust issues and you had fear issues and you were cautious, and that for you, it was already there. And even as a child, you'd be highly aware of what was going on in your environment. Like, does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, like really neat. And see, what's really cool is like you understand you get stuck in your head.
Can
That
sometimes.
that you overanalyze things.
Yes and no. Maybe before I used to, more so. Not so much now.
Right? But I'm talking about when you're triggered. Do you know what I'm saying?
Probably can.
Like
Yes,
when you're
yes,
triggered,
yes.
like when everything's good, like that's not where I work. I work when we're triggered. And so for you, there's no doubt in my mind. And for you, it's all about balance. You're an advocate. You're a person that has come to this life to support and promote other people. Like, there's no doubt. What kind of work do you do?
I have different things. So I am a Reiki master. I'm a yoga teacher, and I'm also work in the health industry where I do a product educator for a supplement company.
Yes.
But I also have many talents. I used to be an esthetician, so Reiki, reflexology, aromatherapy, massage, access consciousness, so all the energy healing stuff I do.
Yeah, and I'm just here to say there's no doubt in my mind that sooner or later you're just going to work for yourself. No doubt in my mind that you are absolutely going to do it on your own, and that everything that you're leading up to, like, and there's no doubt in my mind, like this year is where you would have planted seeds to grow. Next year, it feels that you're going to come into more of your power. You're also going to be in a personal year of 5. So it's where you're going to definitely step more into your life purpose next year. But this would be like with authority. So it's where you just make that decision. It's like, okay, I'm going to create business cards, or I'm going to commit, because it almost feels like 2022 is where you actually come into full bloom. And I know for you that you like to dot the I's and cross the T's and all that sort of stuff. So it's not like you're going to just burst out there on the scene, but but it just feels like this year, definitely you've been preparing for that growth. And next year, it's where you're going to come into a more kind of where you sort of say, yeah, this is what I'm meant to do and I'm committed to do it. And I know that I'm going to do it on my own, in my own way. 2017 would be a big year for you.
2017.
And 2008.
2008, okay.
1999.
1999.
1990.
1990.
1972, so when you were 10. And 1963, when you were just 1.
Oh boy. Okay. Look at those.
Yeah, well, it's just interesting, right? Because, I mean, like, for you, there's no doubt in my mind that there's a lot of action around you. And there's no doubt that you are an alchemist and that you've been an alchemist for many, many years, and even in a past life. So for you, it's really the direction of energy and where you wield it and what you do with it. And so, like, there's no doubt, I mean, one thing I definitely would do is I would connect almost with the contracts inside of your heart center to see what it is that really stirs you, like emotionally, and where you have your passion, because that is where you will bring the most of yourself. And I do understand that you have lots of different things, but it almost feels like you're going to come into one particular modality almost to sort of master it, and then you're going to add to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's almost as if there was a part of you, and I know you like the challenge, so it's like, yes, I'm going to learn this, and yes, I'm going to learn this, and yes, I'm going to learn this, and you're very effective at it, but it's almost as if there's a part of you that's sort of distracting yourself from really deciding what it is that you love to do. And so that's one thing I definitely would do in the year 2021, because it is your sole purpose year. And so it's where you just, and I know you love a lot of things, but it's where you bring out the most of yourself. I'm going to draw some cards for you.
Okay. Thank you.
So this definitely is past life. So for you, you're an old soul, so that people that come to you will definitely have records. They also will be carrying stuff that does not belong to them. They also will have to look back before they can move forward. So in being able to kind of connect and retrieve keys that will help unlock them. And so there's no doubt in my mind that you're going to be doing some of that work where you're retrieving keys and finding out how that retrieval comes about, if that makes sense. Okay? I'm going to do whoops. This is the card of union. So this lets me know whether you're a married person or the person in your life that you feel a real intimacy with. It can also mean that you love working within the energy of a community and that you like to kind of bring other people and their gifts with you, but it's just, I can almost see you just running the show. Like, you're the person that can see all the magic and where it needs to happen, but that you would do it as well as a community as well, which is just very kind of like, you like that connection of community.
Yes, I do.
This is the orphan. So do you see how, like, this is what I love. Do you see how the union card and the intimacy card and the community card is kind of in complete contrast to the orphan? So the orphan likes their own space. They like to do their own thing. Sensitive definitely to any type of dismissal or feeling that they've been thrown away. But it's like there's a part of you that needs just to find the balance of both. And there's no doubt in my mind that you will. This is your next card, and this is the card of the sinner. So no doubt in a past life you may have done something, or you may have been involved with something that your soul still feels bad for. So it lets me know that there may be a part of you that is just trying to be so good, or just to do the right things, because there's a part of your soul that feels that you've done something wrong or that you're guilty. And so for you, it's like hard, like you just give so much of yourself. And so no doubt it would be where you just felt that you have done something where, you know, you just would feel like you have to redeem yourself. This is your next card, which is the, I call this the flawed and you know, the healer that is reluctant. It's like you know, like, yes, I'm a healer, but I mean, there's a part of you, and it could be something that happened in a past life where, you know, perhaps your alchemy style or that wizard style, maybe people rejected you in a past life. And so there's really you finding your balance and bringing this original flair that you have to the world, and knowing that you're safe to do so. And that really, like, do not close any doors, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and taking the power step next year. And I mean, there's no doubt in my mind the next couple of years for you is going to be a huge growth in your work and what you bring with yourself to your work. Okay, Barbara, is that good reading?
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah,
I much appreciate it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for texting in. Okay, love, you too. How's it going, hon? I'm
Good.
trying to stay on schedule here.
I am so proud of you.
I am. Thank you, Mike. It's so quiet. Even the dogs aren't whining. Wonder what they're getting into.
That's what's got me concerned.
Hello?
Hi, is this Amy?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Amy. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Can you spell your name for me?
A-M-Y,
Okay, and your birth year?
1984.
Okay. And so you understand that you get stuck. Well, you're not stuck, but that you will get stuck in your head a bit. You overanalyze. And that there's a part of you that feels that you need to be at least 4 or 5 steps, you know, ahead of any given moment.
Yeah.
And that there's also where you walk in 2 worlds. You walk in the world of logic and you walk in the world of emotion. Yes, and that for you, like, there's no doubt that you've always, even as a little girl, you felt responsible. Like, you were the person that just knew and would feel pressure. Like, if I were to ask you, when in your life have you not felt pressure?
Right now?
Oh, really? Oh, that's good. Because I guarantee, like, even as a little girl, you know, you would just feel pressure. I would like to go to the energy of your father. Your father's birth year.
My father's birthday, I don't know. My father passed away when I was 5, so I'm not sure.
Okay, so just so you know, because it's a 5-year, if you can find out at some point and text back in, I believe that you have a soul connection with your father. And so the fact that you were 5, like, there's no doubt in my mind that would be, like, have a huge thing. No doubt.
So what does that mean?
What it means is like, for me, 2, 5, 9 are probably the most spiritual numbers. And anytime I see a 5, if there's any 5 associated with anyone, then I know that is a soul contract. So that's why I say to people, it'd be just interesting to find out, because if I knew his dates and I knew all of that, I could tell you what those contracts are. Like, let me just put it to you this way. The fact that you experienced this loss of your father when you were 5, right there, it would have changed your spiritual path. Like, do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes. And so I just want to honor the fact that even though he may have not been walking with you in this world at this time, that he was with you. And so, you know, I'm a numerologist, and as soon as somebody says, I don't know, but I was 5 when he died, it's like, oh my God, you've got a huge contract with your dad. So just so you know, did you have a stepfather introduced in your life? And do you know his dates?
No, no.
Now that's interesting. Don't you think that's interesting?
I don't know. I have them somewhere. I just don't know.
Yeah. And so like just
I
so
know me and my kids. I don't know.
yeah.
Sorry.
And so it's just interesting to me, right?
Okay.
Your month
My month is February
and your day.
7.
Yeah. And see, with you, I'm telling you, there is male energy. Like I'm telling you from a past life, I do believe that you experienced the same thing, this loss of this male energy in your life. And so,
Oh my God. Yeah, okay.
and so there's no doubt that for you to connect with men in this life would be very challenging for you. And so it just would be really, you have to promise me that you'll get the dates. Do you promise me?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, I
cool.
will.
Because
Mine and my stepdad, okay.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
yes. And so are you a married person? Do you have
No.
yeah,
So
and
I'm with the father of I have 3 kids with him.
right?
And we know each other since we were about 17, and we're 30, almost 37, so...
Yeah. So are you still together?
Yeah, we co-parent in the same household with all our children.
Right, but you're not like a couple?
Well, we haven't gotten to that part yet.
Okay. All
I
right.
don't know, I went through a lot of stuff, like I lost my baby and stuff, like with my other ex. That's
Yes.
why I was actually writing, like, so I keep seeing 17, and his birthday will be December 17th, so I keep seeing that, like, on the clocks and everywhere all the time.
Okay. And so you lost a child?
Yeah, he was 2 days old with my ex, like, not with my present.
Okay. So just so you know,
That relationship.
okay, just so you know, the 2 is past life. So no doubt in my mind with this child that you have a very deep connection. And the year?
The year he passed away?
Oh, yes, the year that he was born in the
It
year.
was December 17th, 2017.
Okay. And see, there's no doubt in my mind that that definitely planted a seed in you. And so it would have absolutely had like a huge impact. And I mean, one thing for sure is that you would have learned who really loved you, who was really there for you, who wasn't there for you. I mean, in some ways, it was almost to bring you that information. You'd also learn how much you were loved. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. Hang on one sec. And this would be connected to 2016.
Okay.
What was going on with you in that year? That would be 4 years ago.
That's actually when I met the ex.
Okay.
And that was like, so I didn't have, like when me and Luke, that's his name, the father of my 3.
Yeah.
I didn't really, like I dated like maybe the odd person, but this guy, with my ex, like the one I lost the child with, he was like the only person I ever brought into my life.
Okay.
That year.
And his name? Just initial.
Zach.
Okay.
Z-A-C-K.
Okay. And birth year?
He's the same as me, I believe, 1984.
And the month?
I think it's June 29th.
Okay.
I believe.
And you understand, like, he would be a wall.
Yeah.
He would be hard for you to reach.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that he didn't, he just didn't tell you how beautiful you are and how grateful he was that you were in his life and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's just really interesting. It's all connected with the Father. It's all connected with the Father. So just so you know, okay? It is. Like, think about it. Why would a beautiful, amazing, smart, intelligent, creative, intuitive female draw a male to her that gave her nothing emotionally?
I don't know.
And I can tell you, it's because of the father, not having the father to teach you how to receive that. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy kept, like, it was like a secret life, like, because he had, like, addiction problems. I've seen you guys, like, throughout the years through.
Right. And all I know is this, is it's just really interesting because all I know is in this year, you're right on the cusp of just appreciating, you know, and kind of renegotiating all the contracts that because there's no doubt in my mind, and there's no doubt that it feels almost like somebody is going to come into your life that you've been praying to show up. And I feel like he's going to present himself, he or she is going to present himself in 2021. So, I mean, it's just being able to see that, right? 2007 would be another big year for you.
And my first baby.
Okay.
My daughter.
And her name?
Aaliyah.
Okay. And her birth year is 2007 and the month?
April 28th.
See that? She's a 5. She's a 5. So this lets me know that there's no doubt in my mind that you prayed for this little girl to come into your life, that she gave you purpose, that there's no doubt that, like, I mean, she would have kind of filled whatever was empty inside of you. And so, like, just so you know, like, there is a contract, a soul contract as well with your daughter. 1998 would be another big year. And then 1989. So you would have been 5.
Yeah, what have I...
Don't you love that? Don't you love that?
Wow.
That is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So no doubt in my mind, you have to let me know what your dad's, I'm telling you, because I guarantee he walks beside you, that he is a guardian and that he's been there for many, many lifetimes with you. I'm going to draw 5 cards for you. Yeah, it's really.
I try not to cry. I was told that, like, when my son passed away, he came down and he, like, took him, took him to heaven and something like that.
Yeah, and see, like, that's the cool thing. Like, if you find out his dates, I can tell you, I can tell you exactly whether he was there. Here, this lets me know definitely heartbreak. So no doubt in a past life that you had suffered some heartbreak as well. And so just so you know, in 2007, whatever was going on with you, in 2017, just so you know, whatever you were grieving, because of the loss of your son, you would have grieved everything, like everything. It would be like this incredible release of, you weren't just crying, but it opened and unlocked your grief. So just so you know, in a lot of ways, that was extremely healing for you, just because you couldn't even help yourself, like you were just offloading a whole lot of grief. This is your next card, and this is the intuitive. So again, it lets me know that you're an old soul, that you're a very deep soul, that you have a curiosity, that you're here as a mentor and a teacher. And the next card, oh wow, so you got the gifted. Look at these, you got both of the sparkly cards. You're a sparkly person. Look at that. So this just lets me know that you are gifted, and that you're, that you're blessed, and that there's no doubt in my mind that you walk with the energy of other, like guardians. This lets me know also that you're wise, and that your wounds from a past life brought you great wisdom. And even when you were going through the grief, that you were a leader for someone else, even during the most difficult time of your life. And so this lets me know that no doubt that you have this ability to really, really be there. And that's pretty amazing. Like, even when you're going through whatever it is that you went through, you still are there for other people.
Yeah.
This one, it's persecution. So no doubt in a past life that you were persecuted. So there may be something inside of you that believes that things happen to you because it's sort of a punishment, that you feel that you're punished. And I'm just
Yeah.
here to say, like, I would say to you, like, if you look at these two cards, they're exactly the opposite. One is persecution, and this is where you just have had a lot of doubt, and this is really wisdom. So there's no doubt in my mind that you come here to be a teacher, and so it's not about punishment, it's more about you having this depth. Because let me tell you, both these cards, sparkly, sparkly, sparkly. Look at them. Look at how pretty they are. So I'll look forward to you giving me the dates, because I think it's really going to help you. I really honestly do. And it's going to give you some, because whether or not, you may not have memory of the loss of your father, but I can guarantee you that your soul does. And so it's really being able to kind of honor that loss.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Good? Happy?
Yes.
Did did you enjoy your reading?
Absolutely. Always. I always do. I love you guys.
I know, and all I know is like next year for you, it's going to be a big year. Really big year. It's going to be,
Yeah.
you're going to come into a year where you get to renegotiate contracts. It's where you create boundaries. I mean, it's just going to be interesting to see. There's going to definitely be change. Like, I can just feel it in you. But yeah. Okay, Amy, thank you so much.
Thank
You
you.
have a beautiful evening.
Oh, you guys too. I love you guys.
Love you. Okay,
Take care.
thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nice.
That's neat, eh? Okay, let me just shuffle up. Hey, there's Tammy. Tammy.
And Jen Clark
Those
says
cakes.
hi.
Hey, how are you? Those cakes you made, oh my gosh,
Gone.
gone. Tammy, you make the best banana cake. If I were you, I would quit your job and just make it. You would make a fortune. And so next year, sign us up for more. 4 more.
Please tell us they're vitamin enriched.
Thank you, my love. Okay, now we're going to Michelle. Okay. Thank you, my love.
Hello.
Hi, is this Michelle?
It is.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Can you spell your name for me?
Michele. Do you need the last name?
No, that's good.
Oh.
And your birth year?
February 15th, 1967.
Okay. And so for you, it's interesting because you understand that for you, you have like a priest inside of you, that you're quite moral, that you're a person that's very connected to your family, and that people know how to push your buttons, very sensitive to any type of shaming, and that no doubt that as a child you would absorb whatever went wrong in the home. So somehow you would just feel responsible. And I mean, like, it's really interesting because for you, it's like there's something inside of you that just can't go against what you believe morally. Like, say for instance, let's say if I'm hanging out with you and I find $100 and I say, okay, come on, Michelle, let's go for lunch. Like, you just couldn't do it. Like, you couldn't even eat. Like, you'd be going, well, what if it's somebody's lunch money, or what if it's their rent money? And so for you, there's no doubt. Like, even if you were dead broke and like, you walked in and you saw somebody had like $5 like right by their purse, like, you wouldn't take it even if you were starving, because it would just make you feel guilty. And so no doubt in my mind that you carry a burden, and that this burden feels very old. And so for you, there's a weight around you and a responsibility. Also with you, you're also the priestess. And so this highly intuitive, and that you can literally look at the people that you love and know if they're okay. If they're okay, you're okay. If they're not okay, you're not okay. And for you, it almost feels like it's kind of, you hold things in your tummy. And if you cannot sleep, there's a reason. So you might as well get up and say, okay, like, what is going on? Like, what has triggered me? Something is bothering you. Do you have children?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first year, what is the year that you had your first child?
97.
That's And so 9, 10, 11. And you understand that for you, you haven't taken a breath since then. And also, with your pregnancy, was there any complication with your pregnancy?
Not my first one, no.
Okay, and was there with another child?
Just bleeding for a short period, but
Okay.
she was fine.
Okay. And 10, 18, 19, 21. And so now with you, I've got to go to the father as well. Do you know your father's birth year?
32.
Okay.
1932.
And the month?
June
And the day?
21st.
And so do you know if your father had suffered a traumatic loss prior to having you?
I would think it was his parents, maybe.
Okay. But it
His
feels
mom, anyway.
okay. But it feels almost like he had suffered some sort of trauma early in his life.
Yeah.
Okay. And so there's no doubt in my mind that your soul is carrying that burden and is carrying that trauma. And it'd be interesting for you to find out when that was or what happened. And so there's no doubt, like, in other words, you could look at your dad and know if he was okay or if he wasn't okay. And you'd be very sensitive to him. And there's no doubt that he would have a difficult time expressing his emotion. So you would absorb his emotion because he just didn't know how to express it. Like, does that make sense?
Well, I know he had a rough, a rough childhood, but I don't know of any specific trauma.
Yeah, well, it's just interesting because, like, you're just very sensitive, and I guarantee that there is a contract between you and your dad. So there would be a sensitivity to whatever his experience was. Let me just check here.
Well, he passed.
Okay.
So
And how old were you when he passed?
I was 24.
Okay. I'm going to see if he's on. Hang on one sec. I'm just doing a calculation. 2017.
2017.
Yeah. And then 2008. And then 1999.
My daughter was born.
Okay. And your daughter's name?
Lauren. Lauren.
Okay. And so that's 1999. And the month?
April.
And the day?
25th.
Okay. And so let me just see. I'm going to check one thing. Okay. And so then would be 1990, 1981, 1972. So you would have been 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, what's really interesting is even with you, as well as the other person that I just read, like, you walk in the energy of 5. So this lets me know that you're contracted in this life to be of service to other people. So, it's like either you're a nurse or you do something where, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind. And so, like, it's where, like, you just can't help yourself. Like, there's no way, and it has nothing to do with money. Like, no doubt that you want to be secure, but for you, like, you have to be of service. And so there's no doubt in my mind that there is guardians that walk around you. And it would just be interesting to see who they are. Do you have any other children?
No, just 2.
Okay, and your other child's name?
Mackenzie.
Okay. And birth year?
1997.
And the month?
September
And
28th.
28th. Wow, that's really wild. You brought two healers to this world. Two absolute healers. Yeah,
Wow.
no doubt. Your mother's birth year?
1934,
Okay. And the month?
August
And the day?
27th.
And so there's no doubt that with you, I'm just checking to see if your mother has a contract with you. Wow. So there's no doubt there'd be times where you just wonder who was the parent and who was the mother. Like your connection with your mother would, like, I mean, it's really interesting because it almost feels as if your mother didn't quite know how to express herself emotionally, and neither did your father, so you would kind of take that on. So you would be the translator between the emotional aspects in the family, if that makes sense. Yeah, like let me put it to you this way. Like as a little girl, like when you were around your parents, like you would be aware of what was going on. Like you'd feel it before it even happened.
I'd have to think back. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's just interesting. Like you understand that you're like you're a very aware person, that you have the ability to scan people that are in front of you. Like you could go into a room and you literally know where you want to be in the room and where you don't want to be in the room. You're be in front of people and know right away if they like you or if you like them. Like you just have this real knowing, this real sense.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you that you had the very same thing as a little girl. And so for you, it almost feels like there's like it's where you're like 10 steps ahead of the experience, kind of preparing for whatever's coming, and that you can almost feel it when it does come. And this year you would have kind of drawn a line, or you would have had to take back your power, or this year would have been where you would have been challenged and had to step into your power. Like, does that make sense? You would have come out of your comfort zone. Yeah, or that you're preparing to come out of your comfort zone, and this would be connected to whatever was going on in 2016. Yeah, so that would be 4 years ago.
2016?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So just so you know, it's like no doubt next year you're going to be coming into more spiritual truths. You're going to be renegotiating some other people, like some negotiations in relationships, and so and you're going to be coming more into your truth. This is your first card. This is the shaman. So this lets me know that you're a very old soul. Like, does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
And that you're a person that people comes to, and they come to you for guidance. They come to you because you have the energy of the oak tree, that you're very supportive, that they feel safe around your energy. Yeah, like there's no doubt in my mind that you would have that. Hang on one second, I'm going to get you another card. This is the union card, so this lets me know that you definitely have an intimacy, the people that are close to you, that you really love them and that they would know, and that connection is very, very important to you. This is also being of service of other people, so it's about community, so it can speak of being politically motivated by certain things, like that you care about how people are treated, or you care about certain things in the world, like how animals are treated, that sort of thing, and that it's important for you as a community. Here is your next card. This lets me know in a past life that you actually walked with the people that, and you sat with the people that were dying, or that were on a very difficult path. So this lets me know that you're very kind and that you're present and that you're there and that you're just stable. And so people would view you and they would just feel very safe around you and very protected. This is the other card. This is so no doubt in a past life you were a doctor, or you would have been in the medical as well. So you would have been of the care of other people. So there's no doubt that you were contracted to do the similar work, and that this is something that you just very gifted at it. Like people, you just feel very at home within that environment. This is the conformist, so this lets me know that there's no doubt in my mind that in a past life it almost feels like you were a shaman and that you did this work that you're doing in this lifetime the same, that you're very devoted, and that people that are, that people that suffer, that you are there where other people would feel very uncomfortable, if that makes sense. Yeah. And I guarantee you it's connected to when you were a young girl. So just so you know, it's like, not everybody can be the leader that you are, because even in very difficult situations, you somehow will just do it. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that you're very, very effective at it. Like, are you, because I almost feel like there's this leader inside of you that you could be running the show, but there's a part of you that just kind of, you sort of look at it and say, okay, well, this is what I really do. But I just think that you're going to grow into either having more responsibility at your work, or that you're going to step more into your power, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Why are you laughing? Does that make sense?
I don't want to be in charge.
Yeah, and you want to know something? Like, I have to be honest with you. There is no doubt in my mind that people turn to you because that you are in charge in a way. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I guarantee that you are a natural born leader, that you move in the energy of your intuition, that you can look at things and you know how to make things happen, that you're incredibly passionate. And so, like, I'm just here to say to you, I think it's really about you seeing your power. Like, I'm just here to say that you bring more than what you think, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you do.
Yes, it definitely does, yeah.
Yeah, and so I know that there's this reluctance to it, but I guarantee, like, you are like this oak tree. There's no doubt in my mind, and that you've been an oak tree for a very, very long time, and that no matter what, that you kind of created an anchor for your family. So just so you know, I think it's going to be interesting for you to be able to look at your power, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like how you don't sound real excited about it.
It's just making me think a lot.
Is it? Yeah, like I guarantee that you have all this leadership, and there's a part of you that questions that. And, if you look around, I guarantee if I were to ask your friends and people that love you, they would say that you're just this beautifully committed person that has this strong, and people just feel safe around you, and that you do difficult things. And there's no doubt that you did difficult things in a past life. Like, think about it. If you look at the medical from years ago when they had nothing, I guarantee that either you were a surgeon or you did stuff. And so that's why in this life, it's like, don't worry, I can do that. Like, I have no problem doing that. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So anyways, but I certainly hope you enjoyed your reading.
Oh, yes, I did. Thanks so much.
Yeah. And like, I just guarantee that your work is going to be, I don't know, like, I just feel like you're going to be going into a much more place where you're responsible, like where you're sort of appreciated for what you do, and there's going to either be a raise or change in position, or more responsibility is going to come your way. But yeah, I just feel like you're going to come. Don't you love that? But at the same time, it's being able to make boundaries for yourself so you don't lose yourself in it. But anyways, that's funny. Like, I love that. You're fun. But anyways, thank you so much for texting in.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Like, you know what I find is so interesting when there's some people that just don't know like how what they do and the gifts they bring. Like she definitely is an absolute leader. Like 100%. You know? Thank you, Lloyd.
That happens more than you think.
Yes. Oops. Okay. I'm doing pretty good, eh?
Sure are.
Okay, let's rock and roll. Hello,
Here we
Penny
go.
Fisher. See. Hi, how are you? This is Lindsay. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Can you spell your name for me?
Yep, it's CRYSTAL.
Okay. And so you know that you have the ability to draw people into you.
Kind of.
That you're kind of like a sponge. That
Yes.
you absorb other people's emotion.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and like there's no doubt in my mind that you can draw people in. Like if honestly with you, like if you need something or you want something in your life, all you have to do is manifest it and it will come to you. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's no doubt in my mind. Your birth year
Is 83.
okay. And your month
10 October.
and your day?
28.
Wow. So you understand that you're a bit of a shapeshifter.
What does that mean?
That means that you can stand in front of someone and you can literally pick up on their energy and you
Yes.
change according to what you think they want you to be.
Yes.
And that you are very flexible, non-judgmental, that you appreciate like kind of the universal flow, that you don't like confrontation, you don't like conflict. For you, balance is everything. Would you agree?
You're nailing it all.
And see, what's really neat, right, is like you have the alchemist in you, which is definitely, and with you, 100%, I would put something on you that has a lot of tourmaline or a stone that's black, onyx, green tourmaline, but it's just where it would kind of ground, I don't want to say ground your energy. It's just that for you, there's a lot of energy around you. And so, yeah, it would kind of anchor you to the earth. Like gold sheen obsidian would be really good. Just something that sort of brings you more into your body, because I think you're in your mind a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And see, what's really interesting is so your mind sort of feeds your body. And there's no doubt, like you understand that there's a part of you that steps back from the what do you call it, the limelight.
Yes.
Like you don't like attention on you.
No.
And yet you attract attention.
All the time.
So what do you do with that? Like, what do you do with that, right? It's like, listen, you're just going to have to make peace with it. Part of it is because the fact there's a lot of light around you, so people see the light. And so, there would be just attention. Like you could literally just want to sneak into a room, and I'm here to tell you it's never going to happen. Never, never, never. So, you might as well just get comfortable with yourself, because like you're just going to draw attention, even if you don't want it. And so, yeah, it's just kind of interesting.
That's so funny you say that. So true. Oh my God.
I know. And it's just, and like for you, part of it is your warmth. So not only do you have white energy around you, but you also have orange energy around you. So you have this energy where people just feel safe and they just feel like they can trust you, but they also feel very supported and very loved. So like for you, like white energy and orange energy that just fuses the other people that are around you. So just so you know, like I understand that you wouldn't harm a fly. I also know that you don't like any kind of conflict. I also know that at times you just feel like you get lost and that, you feel a bit invisible. And so like there's no doubt that you're trying to come more into your authentic self, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Oh my God, I love you.
And see, this year's been a bit of a shit show for you, eh?
Oh yes.
Like really big time, like a lot of fears have surfaced for you. And so, and here's the really wild thing. is that it's gone on long enough that you've had to dig inside of you to be able to find that strength to get through it. And we're not through it completely yet, but would you agree that from the moment all of this stuff started and at the beginning of it, you were really, really anxious, but somehow you sort of have made your peace within that and trying to find your balance?
Yes.
Yes, and like there's no doubt in my mind that you have gone through some very difficult times, but what's really cool is this year it gives you the strength and the confidence to say, if I can get through this, I can get through anything. And so just so you know, it's just very important. Last year you drew a line. What line did you draw last year?
I don't know.
I want you to think.
Like I don't know. I've had a lot of shitty things happen, so I feel like I've probably drawn a lot of lines.
Well, it's not so much. It's like for you, it had to get this bad in order for you to say no. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
Yes. So for you, it would be like, because for you, you understand that it's hard for you to say no without feeling
Yes.
guilty.
Yeah.
And so this year, no doubt in my mind, in this year of 2020, you've learned the importance of saying no.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And do you not see how great that is?
Feels good. Yeah.
2005, that would be another big year for you.
Yeah. My son's father passed away. The end of 2004, so 2005 was a really hard year for me.
Yeah, and just so you know, like this person's name.
That passed away.
Yes.
Is Brian.
Okay. And his birth year, do you know?
82.
And the month?
May.
And the day?
14.
See that? I'm telling you, I guarantee you, it absolutely is a contract. If you look at the 1018, the 1982, it's 10, 18, 20. There's 2, that's past life. The 5 is a soul contract, and the 5 is a soul contract. So this contract with Brian, it's old. And I guarantee it was in place even before you were conceived.
That is fucking crazy.
And I'm here to tell you, like, there's no doubt in my mind. And so, like, you know, I mean, especially it just gives
I wonder
you.
if that's why I can't let go.
Yeah, well, see, you know what? It's really amazing because, I mean, it just is. All I know is that you have a contract with this person. And I mean, you know, obviously I can only read for you like for 20 minutes here, but I mean, you're always welcome to text back at another time. But I guarantee you that his presence in your life, and he is the father of your children.
My oldest son.
Okay, and his name, your oldest son's name?
Is Camden, Kamden.
Okay, and his birth year?
04.
And the month?
February.
And the day?
05.
Yeah. See that? He's the energy of the father.
Yes.
So just so you know, it's like it's one of those weird things, and I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that you see Brian in Camden.
Yeah, he is Camden.
Yeah.
Camden. Yeah.
And just so you know, your son has a soul connection with his father, and so it's like no doubt in my mind. Let me just see. The year that was 2014. Hang on. I'm just. And so just so you know, I guarantee in a past life that Camden, this is about Camden. This isn't about Brian. This is about Camden. He could have either lost his mother or lost his father. And in this lifetime, it was he needed to stay with you. And you needed to stay with him.
Oh my God, I can cry.
And you want to know something that's really wild is there's no doubt that Brian definitely had walls around him. He would be difficult to reach.
Yes.
And so, like, just so you know, but you honored his privacy. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes, and so like you just got to be okay with that, because I'm telling you, like with you, there's no doubt in my mind that you tried to reach him, or you tried to get him to bust down his walls. And I'm just here to say to you that it just he just would surround himself and kind of protect himself.
This is Camden?
No, this is Brian. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Do you know the day that he passed?
June 6th.
June 6th. See that? Double six, eh? Double
Yeah.
six. I'm telling you. And no doubt that he wasn't even in his body when he passed. It's almost as if he was gone before, so he felt no pain, like none.
Yeah.
He would have been out of his body.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
has mental illness. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So just so you know, and for him, it's all about balance, right? Like think about it. This is what I say to people all the time. It's like there is no, like I don't question nothing in this life, and I'm going to say something that's very personal, and I don't feel really great about saying it, but I'm going to say it anyways. My daughter, she lost the dad that adopted her when she was very young. And I mean, and she lost him way too young. And of course I was the surviving parent, and there's all that other stuff that kind of goes on with that, you know, and we elevate the people that died. But I can remember saying to her, like, I'm sorry, darling, but I'm glad that I'm still here with you, because I don't know whether your dad could have navigated through this. So I don't question nothing, and you understand that, I mean, if you're walking in between past life and and contracts, that it could have been you. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
And I'm here to say that that wasn't the contract. The contract was that you were here to stay with your son.
It's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, like it's really beautiful. Like it's really beautiful. Like I mean, and there's no doubt in my mind that with Brian, that he is no longer in a place of anxiety, that he is no longer in a place of suffering, that he is no longer in a place where he questions his goodness, that he is no longer in that place. And
I can't believe you just said all of that.
yeah, well, I'm just here to tell you, like I'm just honestly here to say to you that you just need to have a conversation with your heart and just know. Like this is the one thing that I've learned, and it's a very difficult thing to learn, but I've learned it, and I've learned it a couple of times, and no doubt it's going to resurface again, is whatever is meant to be is meant to be.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, and I don't care, like there is growth in everything, but all I know is there is no doubt in my mind that Camden, that you had a contract with your son to be here. So I just find it's like really very emotional to say this to you, but I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he took his own life, so you hit everything on the head with his feelings and stuff, so it's crazy.
Yeah, you want to know something? Let me say this to you. This is only my belief. This is just my belief, and there definitely is been a time where I didn't want to be here, where I did not want to be here, and I tell you, in that moment, I was numb. I was out of my body, and so you know, like, and that's what I find. That's what I find so important. You know, it's like there's no doubt in my mind that he no longer, and I guarantee that Brian had a vibration from the inside out, and he tried everything, and it just wasn't. You know, you just have to honor. I do believe that he made, it was on the 5th that he made peace with what he was doing. I believe that he thought about it a long time. And so just so you know, like it isn't like this random thing. I mean, it was something that there's no doubt that he had thought about probably half of his life. Like if that makes sense, yeah. I'm going to draw some, and see, I love the fact that your name is Crystal. I mean, even your name is healing. I mean, how beautiful is that? I mean, how beautiful. So what I want you to do is I want you to beckon Brian's energy, and I want you to have a conversation with him and say, you know what? I was talking to this weirdo numerologist that told me that, you know, like that you were numb and that you just didn't know what else to do, and that you're no longer suffering and you're no longer in this spin, and I just have to let you go. I have to appreciate and honor your decision, because with you it's a complicated loss. Number one, you're in complete shock. Number two, you're in absolute grief. And then the old crankiness and anger comes through. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, seriously? You're going to walk out and do this? Are you kidding me? So just so you know, I'm here to honor all of your emotions. They're all valid. They're all important. There's no judgment. It's a complicated, complex wound. And what's really, really cool is the fact is, in this year, you get to be able to shed all of that and make peace with it. Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And see, want to know something? It was in a 9-year. I mean, this is a contracted thing. You were in a 9-year when he died. So just so you know, it is bigger than what you think. I believe that he came to this life contracted to be the son of Camden. That's what I believe. And I believe that if you allow yourself to, Crystal, that you'll be on the hook with Brian until you decide this year, and you got a couple of weeks just to say, I'm not responsible. I'm not responsible. Like, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, and I'm just here to say, like, honestly, I had a doctor that came to see me. And it was really wild because he sat and he had supper with his son. And they had a beautiful conversation. They had a beautiful time. Then what happened is his son went and hung himself. And like I said to the dad, like, I'm sorry. Like, it's like when somebody has this in their mind, there is like, they're entitled to their path. You have to honor their path. And I know for you, that you just carried this. And so I want you to have a conversation with Brian. I want you to say to him, look, I talked to this weirdo numerologist and she tells me I'm on the hook, and there is no doubt in my mind that in this lifetime I want to relieve myself from the responsibility of your choice. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, are you ready? Here comes your first card. Look at this card. That's a hook. This is a hook. So this lets me know that this experience is hooked into you. And so I just want you just to honor his choice. It is a choice. And so, you know, and I guarantee that you have a hook connected with Brian. So it's where you need to find it. Where is it? Is it in your stomach? Is it in your side? Is it in your neck? Is it in your back? I mean, like,
it's in my heart.
Yeah, well, you want to know something? You might as well go there and say, you know what? There's no doubt in my mind, Crystal, that you and me, that you would honor whatever choices I make.
Yeah.
Right? You would honor any choice that Lloyd makes.
Yes.
You would honor anybody's choice, anyone in your life. And so all I'm asking you to do is I'm just asking you to honor Brian's choice. And I'm here to say to you that there's no doubt in my mind that you had all sorts of emotion surface as a result. Like, think about it. Where were you when you found out he was dead?
At school.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, there's a piece of you still there, love. There's still a piece of you. And yeah. And so, yeah, here comes another card for you. And this is an armor. So this lets me know that no doubt in my mind that you're a person that definitely kind of has armored yourself. So in other words, you know, nobody really knows what you're carrying. And I'm here to say that I do. And it's not yours. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, like, there's no doubt in my mind. And so, and I mean, it's just so you know.
Thank you.
This lets me know this is a shadow. So you've been hanging on to this because I guarantee you, like, you tell me I'm lying, that you felt guilty and responsible about Brian even before he died.
Yes.
You ready? Right hand up. Up. Tell me when it's up.
It's up.
I
I
am
am
and never was
never was
responsible
responsible
for Brian's
Brian's
life.
life.
I honor his history.
I honor his history.
Good for you. Good for you. And so, like, there's no doubt in my mind, and this is what I love. You know what? I love reading for you. This is probably one of the most favorite readings I've done online and live, because I'm here to say to you, see this card? This is your next card. This is the burden card, and you get to offload. Offload. And like, if I were you, and I know it sounds really crazy, but if I were you, I would get naked and I just make sure that you get, that you're not anywhere you're going to get arrested. And I would just go and dance in the moon and say, I want to just be completely cleared of all of this. Okay? Here's your next one. This lets me know shock, like no doubt in my mind. And just so you know, like, I don't want to, I honor your privacy. And if you decide that you want to even reach out, like, there's no doubt in my mind, just so you know, it would be like a massive shock, but it wouldn't be. It'd be like, really? Are you serious? Like, honestly? Right? So there'd be a part of you that didn't know it was coming. And then when it did come, it was like, are you, fucking kidding me? Like, seriously. Right? So, no doubt. And you want to know something? This is what's really interesting, is I know Brian would kind of like me, but he'd kind of not like me. And all I know is that it's all good. Like, he'd be going,
I like you, that's all.
yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, I know, like, and it's all good. Like, all I'm saying is that I'm honoring his choice, and it was his choice. And there's no doubt in my mind that you would have jumped up and down. You would have done everything to reach him. And some people are just locked away. So just so you know, I want you just to, if you can't do it in the moonlight, I don't know, I just feel like I want you naked running around going, yay, yay, yay.
No.
Just
tell the summer when it's a little warmer.
I'd say no. I'd go out and, like, I'd almost freeze it off. But anyways, all I know is you're coming into the year of the hero. This is a year of shedding. It's liberation. It's where you just feel free. And there's no doubt in my mind. And so I want you just to know that I'm just excited for you. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy your reading?
I'm definitely going to be calling you back.
Yeah, no, it's just very, very good. And, like, honestly, I'm just so glad that you, number one, were the last read of the night, and number two, that it just is, I love being able to know that I do believe I can feel you already releasing some of that, and I'm just so excited for you and for your children, because, like, listen, your children need all of you here, all of you, not just a little bit, all of you.
Yeah, they do.
I know, and they got you, baby, and, like, they prayed, please bring me a mama that'll love me forever.
Thank you so much.
You're
I can't wait to talk to you again.
I know, well, I'm just grateful to talk to you now. And so, shed, soak, release, and trust me, you're going to have a beautiful, beautiful time doing it, and have a conversation for sure with Brian.
I will. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Thank you, love.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye. I mean, is she not just the sweetest thing ever?
Nice.
I mean, seriously, like,
Yeah.
how sweet is that?
And kids
So
are happy
just so
to
you
have
know,
her.
yeah, very, very cool. So thank you, everyone. We're going to do the draw now. Oops. Here, Lloyd, I'll hold it for you. So this is, I'll hold it for you, love. This is a draw for Krista's incredible an hour and a half, 2 hour session.
For whoever gets this, I hope you have a good nap.
I hope you don't have to drive home.
Alright, so we got this. Krista, I hope you're watching, because you're going to be working with Patricia Parent
LeBlanc. Yay!
I don't know if you can read that. The camera is actually turning it backwards.
Oh, here.
We have to look at it through a mirror.
Anyways, Patricia Parent LeBlanc. You have won this draw.
Congratulations.
Amazing. And then I was thinking, like, you know, maybe what I'll do is I'll put one of these up, for the draw for next week too, Lloyd?
That would be cool.
Like, maybe we'll do this one. This one has been screaming at me all night long. So I think we're going to put this in for the draw, as well as the drumming. This beautiful, look at it. It's amethyst. It has kyanite, super 7, and this beautiful red quartz, which is all about passion and emotion, and then the amethyst, which for me, 2021 is going to all be the stone that's going to help us kind of shed and transform. So yeah.
Yep, and I hope everybody really starts partying to get rid of 2020. It's been a kind of an interesting year.
Definitely. Hey, there's Tony. Hi, Tony.
Hi, Tony.
Anyways, okay, we're good to go.
Okay, thanks to everyone for joining in, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.
Bye
Take care.
for now. Take care.